People who used to be school bullies, why you were so mean, and what made you realize you were mean. Thought I was funny. Liked making people laugh at others' expense. I never thought about their feelings until I was much older. Now I tell my kids every day before school to be kind and everyone's friend and to stand up for people. I want them to be good humans. I was really into Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers and Mortal Kombat. People would make fun of me. I was one of the biggest kids in school, so I would physically retaliate. Years later, when I ended up average size and people grew bigger than me, I turned to bullying people by being the funny kid. But I was just mean. I wasn't funny. I never had close friends because of all this. For the record, Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, and Mortal Kombat are cool as F. Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, and Mortal Kombat are cool as F. It's weird how two of those things are cool and one isn't if you were born in a very specific time frame. I never could get into PR, but I loved TMNT and MK. It wasn't until later in life that I learned what completely turned me off about Power Rangers. It was the disconnect between the style of the show and the style of the action sequences. It was almost like they were filmed by completely different people for completely different reasons with zero attention to detail. It turns out, they were using old footage from the Japanese show and adding in filler with the American actors to try and fill the time slot and appeal to American audience. In my elementary school, everyone claimed to hate Power Rangers because it was for babies. Then you would get invited to a birthday party and it was Power Rangers themed. I went to private school through 2nd grade, and the following year my parents switched my siblings and me to public. Everyone at the private school loved Power Rangers, pretty openly, but our neighbor who went to the public school warned us before switching schools not to let anyone know that we liked Power Rangers because we'd get made fun of for it at the public school. He said, as we were over at his house watching Power Rangers. Kids are weird. This was me too. No abuse at home. No bullying from others. No anger at the world, etc., just trying to get everyone to laugh. Fortunately, I was only 13 when I had a camp counselor absolutely ream me for making fun of a kid I genuinely liked and considered a friend. The bullying ended there. I'm still thankful for everything the counselor said to me, decades later. Edit, counselor was actually a young woman, probably younger than I am now. I was making fat jokes. Please forgive me. I don't remember exactly what she said, but she made me look at him and how upset I was making him. She made me realize I was hurting him. Full stop, I was hurting my friend. She didn't use any uncertain terms like maybe or should or could or how would you feel? It was very specific, look at what you're doing to him. Spencer, are you having fun right now while frozen_tuna is saying these things? Spencer was a cool dude and 13-year-old me genuinely did not realize what I was doing to him. Crap stuck with me. Please tell us what he said. I have a 12-year-old who loves to be funny and my biggest fear is that, as much as we've stressed kindness, his drive to get a laugh will make him the cool bully. Meaning he'll end up as some ringleader for making fun of others. I know this is some worst-case scenario fear of mine, but I'd still love to hear some of the speech your camp counselor gave you. If there are magic words, I want them. Worst-case scenario. I too have owned a Fiat Regatta. What did the counselor say? Hey, you face, quit being a effer. This. Growing up, people would say that I was funny, so I would continue to tease friends and people to get a laugh. I'm sure some of my teenage insecurity played a big role too, wanting to be accepted, liked, etc. When I got older, I started to reflect on how I treated people and how I didn't stay friends with many people from high school, and realized that what I thought was funny, lighthearted teasing/joking, probably hurt people's feelings, whether they laughed and went along with it or not. Kudos to you for teaching your kids to be kind to everyone. Yeah, I definitely took it too far a lot in my early teenage years in an attempt to be funny. I think I was so insecure and desperate to be liked that I didn't think that it might be hurting people's feelings. Thank you for being a part of breaking the cycle. I work in child safety and interview a lot of current and former bullies. You're probably not going to get honest answers out of the worst bullies. The people on the fringes, the ones who were bad but not awful, are going to reply. They can often reflect on it. They were abused at home, bullied by others, or just angry at the world for other reasons. The genuine bullies, the super cruel girls, or boys almost never recognize how bad their bullying was. Either they were so deeply traumatized by other stuff that was going on, more intense violence at home or sexual abuse, that their memories just aren't there, or worse, they don't think they were bullies. They are still bullies. It's a truly small world sometimes. I moved several hundred miles from the county I went to school for most of my years, at several schools, after graduating high school, and don't regret it. I write stories with people and I joined a new site. Everyone was pretty chill, it's 18 plus, so there's mostly people my age. And then someone in the Discord chat mentioned the county they went to school in. And we got to talking. And then she shared her name. The girl that led the bullying that was so bad my friend committed suicide was now on the small, niche site that I was on, with a bestiality thing, that would later get her booted, thank God, and more issues than I ever had during the time I suffered under her. When I told her I wouldn't be talking to her, and I told her why, she said that she didn't remember any of it. She was such a terrible person all through school that a girl ended her life over it, and she didn't even remember. I think she faked remembering. Some people have legit trauma reasons for acting like this, but others are really just spoiled little shirts, woman shrugging. She was spoiled until high school, and then it kind of fell apart for her. When this happened, she was absolutely spoiled and entitled. I don't know if it was fake or not, but part of me realized that she probably didn't even think it was a problem. After my friend passed, her go-to insult for our group was that we should be like our friend, because our friend did one thing right. Maybe in her head, nothing was because of her because she was above us and our matters didn't and shouldn't touch her life. Does give me a little laugh knowing that she made fun of us for being anime nerds and she turned out to be way too into dogs, though. Small consolations are better than none. That's just horrific. It's almost impossible to believe people like that exist. But they do. I'm so sorry for your loss and your friend. Maybe somewhere deep down, that will stay with the bully and impact her somehow in the future in a positive way, but she doesn't sound like she had a lot of redeeming qualities. They exist, and junior high is effing horrible. My husband took his own life. A girl at school was picking on my daughter, 14, and told her she should go kill herself like her dad did, since it was obvious he didn't want to be with her. No one else should either. My girl will carry that with her forever. Oh gosh, when I was 10 my best friend said, "It's no wonder your dad killed himself. If I had a daughter like you I would too." Those people are just the worst people and I don't think they realize the years of trauma a 10-second sentence can cause. I'm so sorry for your daughter. I am sorry that you also had the same degrading and humiliating treatment with the passing of your father. My mother took her own life when I was 8. That was fuel for the bullies, including my stepmom. The myriad of insults included, same insult of, "No wonder your mum killed herself. Look at you. You're pathetic _gorgeous goddess / you made her do it. Why don't you cut this way," gesturing vertically in line to my veins / arteries on my forearm, "so that you'd actually get the job done, of killing myself, so you can join your mother. Why don't you just admit to yourself already, she killed herself because of you?" Etc. I've got a file cabinet in my brain, a replay of every single insult. A perfect snapshot of memory. I've never been able to forget them. And I don't think I'll ever be able to comprehend / understand what compelled these people to say these things to me. It's been 20 years since she said it, and yet just 2 nights ago I was lying awake trying to understand what made her say it. I don't think we can ever understand them. Oh, God, that is so awful. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to hear this. My dad also took his life, and it really messed me up in my teenage years. Luckily I was never bullied, so I can't imagine how your daughter was. Wow. I hope that little bitch ends up tossing and turning over those words for decades. I'm sorry about your husband. My dad died while I was in school. One of my classmates was a huge bully and mocked me for months. He beat the crap out of me frequently while laughing about my dead dad. I bumped into him 5 years after school finished. He laughed again and punched me. Some people are just scum. They sure do. One was a head at a local school, and you've never met more of a sociopath. Finally got her removed, but it took quite a battle at the highest levels to do it. I won't go into details about what she did, but it would have most people reaching for baseball bats. And to this day, I doubt very much she thinks she was anything but the victim herself. They get into all walks of life and are often successful because they don't care who they step on to get there, and don't care how badly they treat anyone that opposes them. After my friend passed, her go-to insult for our group was that we should be like our friend, because our friend did one thing right. I'm kind of surprised that didn't result in a fistfight. Sounds like a little psychopath. I'm having a moment. I thought people having sex with animals was fake/a joke/an insult. Genuinely asking, she wanted to have sex with dogs? I can't even understand how that would work. How did I get to my 30s and not know this? Edit, when I say fake I mean roleplay, imagining. I didn't ever think actual animals were involved. So, bestiality is real, yep. Any animal with a compatible whole or phallic appendage has definitely been fetishized, and with pornographic art being a thing since forever, not even biological compatibility is a limit. I kind of dig werewolves and some mild furry stuff myself, so I end up seeing a lot of animal/human content when browsing for what I'm into. I will say most people who find bestiality a turn-on don't actively want to get it on with real animals, it's more the thought, and the act of imagining it that's arousing. The appeal is in taking the idea of animal urges and going a step further. I try not to think too much about the fact that there are actual people who actually do want to have actual sex with actual animals. You got to be missing a few filters between reality and fantasy to want to pursue that kind of thing for reals. If this person was into sex with animals, something went very, very wrong during their childhood. I'm sorry for the specific award. Your comment really hit home a little too close and I felt like you deserved something. That was the only thing I could give. Thank you for the award in the first place. It hurts to know that this story is relatable. It's bad enough to know that it happened once, let alone that it could happen again and again to different people. Here's to hoping that the meek really do inherit the earth, and the bullies that never grow up all have acne in the worst places for the rest of their lives. I was like 15/16, and it was towards one girl. She began to date a friend's ex, said friend told me she took her boyfriend and a bunch of drama. I acted like a typical mean girl towards her and it was rough. Turns out my friend was the worst and I had acted awfully to someone who didn't deserve it. I ended up messaging her on MySpace and called her. We worked it out. We're actually really great friends now and can laugh about it 15 years later. We swap books and I see her quite often. We actually talked about this very situation last time. It made me tear up thinking about how mean I was at that time. I'm so glad I sucked it up and admitted I was wrong. Similar story for me except we were around 10 years old. A new girl came to my school and a boy developed a crush on her. A friend of mine had a crush on said boy so spread all kinds of rumors about the new girl. At lunchtime one day, egged on by my friends, I confronted the new girl and pushed her over. The new girl was so calm about the whole thing, and I remember thinking at the time that I could not have acted the same if bullies were in my face and pushing me. Anyway, flash forward 8 years and I bumped into the girl at a CD shop. We had a nice chat and organized to catch up for coffee. I apologized for what I had done when we were kids and she was so understanding. Flash toward another 15 years and she is one of my best friends. She is still so calm and mindful and has taught me a lot about life and myself. I hate the way we met, but I'm so grateful she was so forgiving and I couldn't imagine her not in my life now. I'm always impressed by people that were like this as kids. Able to keep it together, be calm, and mature about bad situations. I certainly was not able to. Good for you to figure it out on your own. You should be proud. It's not easy being 15/16. Yay 0.9375 is a rough age. /r/they did the math, Reddit link. That happened to me except I was the one getting bullied. The bully/ex-friend never apologized to me and at one point, I seriously contemplated suicide. Luckily, I had a great support system, got some therapy, and made it through that awful few years. Not all teenagers are so fortunate. I went on to study psychology and ended up becoming a therapist. Not sure if the bully ever felt remorse or became a better human. Good for you, but also shows the character of your friend. The fact that she could go through that, talk with you and truly accept your apology is amazing. A lot of people say things are forgiven and then bring it back up later in hurt/anger because they never actually got over it. Props to you both. I actually think my sister shouldn't have forgiven her bully. My sister's bully was her friend who would bully her, then accept her back to the group, then bully her, and so on. All that bullying eventually caused my sister to develop an eating disorder and depression. Then years later, her bully came to ask forgiveness, without much explanation except that she felt bad. That almost made my sister break down. She didn't want to forgive her, but I think she said she did, however she didn't want her to contact her ever again. I don't think that person should have gotten out with just sorry, oh it's okay after what she did. She basically ruined my sister's life, so I think she deserves to feel guilty about it. I get that people might have rough stuff in their own life which may cause them to act this way, but it still doesn't make it right. My sister could have died because of their actions, and I'm not sure do most bullies truly comprehend that. I was bullied a lot at school. At summer camp, there were 1 or 2 others who had it worse than me, and it felt good to finally not be on the bottom rung. Didn't take me too long to see what I was doing, and I started to feel bad. Same here. I met with the guy I picked on in middle school for similar reasons, but he acted completely normal, as if we were always friends. He held no grudge against me despite what I had done. I realized I almost destroyed someone 100 times more kind than I am, and it still haunts me for days whenever I recall him. I hope you actually apologized though. Whatever his outward appearance now, I'm sure he'd appreciate the acknowledgement of the past injustice. When I was in college, I had this nightmare where I was bullying this girl from high school. I woke up feeling like complete crap. I thought hard in it all day and realized that for most of freshman year I was a complete crap to this girl. I had kind of actively forgotten and ignored it up to that point. Anyway, I looked her up on Facebook and sent her a lengthy apology, about 7 years too late. It opened up some communication and we became pretty good friends. Turned out she went to the college about 5 miles from mine. Apologies can heal a lot of damage. Take the time to make them. Sounds familiar. In our year, several kids were bullied and those kids hung out together at school. I was one of them. I was bullied, but I also bullied another kid in the outcast clique. I only realized much later what I did there, because back when it happened, due to the bullying at school and due to my crap life at home, I thought of myself being so insignificant that I honestly didn't think any of my actions could affect anyone at all. I thought that I was just so unimportant and crafty that nothing I did or said would truly mean anything to anyone. So I made all these mean comments to get rid of some of the pressure and negativity, but back then I would have sworn she wouldn't care because who would listen to anything I said? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.